All right, men, welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today I'm just going to run you through the simplest, the most basic way to make bone broth. The reason why we want to be eating or drinking, bone broth is it's going to be really good for, well, it's high in collagen. Collagen is shown to be really good for your joint health, skin health, ligaments, bones. I've got no ACL in my right knee. I'm looking at getting surgery soon. So I want to make sure I've got plenty of collagen in my body to help with the ligaments, the tendons, the recovery. Good for skin elasticity. It's high in glutamine as well, which is shown to be really good for your gut health. So this bone broth is going to be quite simple in terms of it's not going to be extremely flavorful. We're only going to be flavoring it with salt and pepper. Okay, this is for you if you're in a rush and you just want to quickly put a bone broth on in your slow cooker. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually roast the bones and then put them in. That really adds a bit more flavor. For instance, sometimes we might do a whole chicken in the slow cooker or a roast chicken, and then we use the carcass in a slow cooker afterwards. It's going to give you more flavor, but I will do another video on more flavorful bone broth. This is the simplest, most quickest way you can get your bone broth on cooking, and then you can start to enjoy it. So I've got 2 kilos of bones here. Some have more meat on them, okay, than others. 2 kilos of bones. I'm going to chuck in, look, a bunch of black pepper. It's really up to you, and a bunch of salt. I'm probably going to put about two tablespoons of pepper, probably a tablespoon or two of salt. We want to be making sure we're using vinegar in our broth, because what that's going to do is help the acidic nature of the vinegar is going to help seep out a lot of the quality nutrients in the bones over, say, the 24-hour, 48-hour period, depending on how long you're going to do it for. Simple. We've got our bones. We're going to chuck them into the slow cooker, fill it up with water, add our salt, pepper, vinegar, turn it on low. I'm going to do between 24 and 48 hours. We'll see how we go. And you can flavor it, like I said, I'll do another video, but you can chuck in garlic, onion, herbs, and spices. It's up to you. But this is the simplest, fastest way to get your bone broth ready to roll, okay? Now that's it. We'll check in again in 24 hours and we're going to be good to go. Now, I will leave in the description, there will be an ingredients list of exactly how you can use it. But this is very simple. All right, we'll check in soon. We'll see you then. All right, guys, so I just like to top up my broth as well. Just a little bit of extra water to get it back up from the water that's been, I guess, cooked out or steamed out. I've been going for about 12 hours now. Nearly done. All right, guys, welcome back. We are ready to strain the bone broth. It's been on for 48 hours, so it's had a lot of time. Now, remember, you'll need a strainer, a big mixing bowl, okay? Do it in the sink. It's going to be quite hot, so we don't want to burn our hands or fingers. After that, we'll put it in the fridge overnight to set, and then we'll obviously get it ready to put into storage in the freezer, or you'll just be keeping some in the fridge to drink and use your bone broth. Now, another quick tip is the bones that are left over in there are going to be very soft. If you've got a dog, you've got some food for your dog. You can also almost crumble them up as well. All right, well, let's get to it. We'll strain it. And of course, guys, before you strain it, make sure you take all the bones out and that extra fat. So you get yourself a bowl ready to store the bones in. Then we're going to strain it properly. So I just strained it. Now, this is real hot, right? So just be careful maneuvering this around. We want to just let it sit. We're going to let it cool down. Then we're going to put it in the fridge to set, probably just overnight. Leftover bones and fat, that's going to be dog food. So it's perfect. You're not wasting any part of the animal that you are using. And yeah, we're going to have stock broth soon. Let's go. All right, guys. So the broth has cooled down enough now to put in the fridge. All we got to do now is put a tea towel over it, put it in the fridge, and I just leave it overnight, and then it's going to solidify. And you're most likely going to have a layer of fat on top, and you can scrape that off, and that's tallow. And you can use tallow for cooking, just like it's a cooking oil, or cooking fat, I should say. So we'll put it in the fridge, and we'll check the final product in the morning. All right, guys, so here is the bone broth that's been set in the fridge overnight. You can see, hopefully you can see there's a layer of fat that is set. I'm going to scrape that off, melt it down in my pan, then store it in a jar, and that's tallow to cook with. You know, you can fry your eggs in it, do what you please. Bunch of containers, and yeah, we're going to sort it into the containers and we're going to freeze it and we're good to go. So let's see what we want to be looking for. I've got a feeling this broth could be a little bit watery because I added a little bit water throughout the 48 hours. Ideally, you want to have it more gelatinous. And I could have just had too much water, adding in too much water, and I didn't put enough vinegar in at the start. However, you're still going to be left with a nutritious broth or stock, okay? If it is gelatinous, it just means you've hit the nail on the head. However, it doesn't happen every time, okay? So let's have a look. So it's a little bit between, let's have a look here. So it's definitely thick, that's for sure, but it's not gelatinous. So obviously you're not going to waste it, it's still fine. But I've made some in the past that have been really more gelatinous. It just really depends on the amount of bones you've used, the amount of vinegar you put in, but this is still going to be delicious. So let's sort it out into our containers, and we'll melt the fat down so we have some tallow to use. All right, guys, broth has been sorted. I've got containers here. Wonderful, nutrient-dense broth. Good for the joints, the ligaments, good for gut health. I'm going to start drinking this just like a warm drink, like a cup of tea. Pour it in the saucepan, heat it up, drink it. Cook with your rice with it, put it in your bologneses, make a soup out of it. Multiple things, right? If you're enjoying this content, please remember to like, share, subscribe. I've got more recipes coming up. I'm going to do a really delicious chicken stock or chicken broth next. And I will do more bone broth recipes with extra flavors like onions, garlic, and herbs. This one's the most simplest one. If you want to know more about training and nutrition, remember you can book in a call with me. I have the links in the description to book in a free call with me. We can go through your training, nutrition, what you want to do with your body image, your body shape, and becoming a healthier man. That's a free call. I also have my free Fat Loss Accelerator Blueprint. That gets you a workout program. It's got a diet plan in it, recovery mindset tips. That's in the description, that link as well. Absolutely free. You've just got to put your email in and you'll get it sent to you. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to get into this and having some delicious broth. I'll see you on the next one.